all about pubs. Here's yet another business hit by the double whammy of business rates and national insurance. So let's go inside. It's not just pubs. Across the hospitality and retail sector, the government is making it harder to do business. So I'm here this afternoon with Rob McGregor, who is the landlord here at the Bear of North Moreton, and we've been talking about business rates, not for the first time. So how's it affecting you?
Yeah, well, the business rates revaluation is looking to go up across my businesses around sort of 15-20%. There's been other people who've been much worsely affected, but we've been particularly hit, especially as we weren't paying business rates before, and then now we're being pushed into a bracket where we will be. So again, along with everything else, it eats into that margin, and we're having to make cuts in all sorts of other places. So whether it be less staff or indeed raising prices for consumers, we've had to soak up some of that cost. And ultimately, we're a less viable business because of it.
Yeah, and obviously, I know you've got several hospitality businesses, but places like here at the Bear, it's the only pub in the village. This pub goes and there's nothing.
I mean, we took this on because this was my childhood pub. This is where me and my business partner, we met. This is where I met my wife. And it means a lot. And especially this community means a lot to me in this area. And so we saw a shutdown pub and we came in and we took it on. So we weren't necessarily thinking, oh, wow, this is going to be a moneymaker. We just wanted to make something valuable. And we've been able to do that to a large extent, but ultimately with business rates going up, with stealth taxes on all sorts of different types of things, the news that we're potentially going to get penalised for being in a nice place, amongst other things, means that it's just constantly getting harder and harder. And, when it comes to the end of our lease term, it's going to make us think twice about being able to sustain this and continue on, because ultimately things can't operate as charities, and more people are having to rely on the community, and the community are already stretched. Their mortgages are going up.
I mean, you mentioned that several times about this being the heart of the community, and it's a great way for people to get into employment. My daughter's only 15; she works in our local pub. It's often a way that people start out with a sort of weekend job.
Huge.
And there's been lots of talk recently about the importance of getting young people into work. This is one of those great ways of doing it in hospitality, and that's just been squeezed off, isn't it?
Totally. You read reports about a lost generation. You look at the amount of people between certain ages who aren't in employment and can't get employment. This is the way in which they can get a foothold and develop skills. Being able to talk to adults, being able to understand people from different backgrounds, being able to maybe see things from a different perspective, and learn people skills is such an important thing when you go into a workplace. And we train. We always have an ethos of people coming into us, and it's usually young people from the community, people who can walk here. They often start out quite raw, and we are able to put them in a position when they leave and go and seek further employment, go off to university, where they have more of those skills. And unfortunately, in the situation we're in, we can employ less people, we can give them fewer hours, we spend more time doing them ourselves in order to make ends meet. And that's the detriment to the community and ultimately to job prospects for all the young people in the area.
Yeah. And as part of the campaign that we've been running, which you've been really supportive of, we managed to get the local council, South Oxfordshire District Council, back at the end of last year to agree a motion for urgent support for pubs. Now, unfortunately, it's a Lib Dem council. They talk about urgent support, but it's been over 6 months now, and they still haven't actually come up with a proposal about how they might assist. Have you had any contact from the council yourself as a business owner?
No, not at all. No message of support or anything. Like, when we first talked about that concept and when I first got involved in the campaign, I was thrilled. It's a really exciting idea, and the fact that it was getting raised and then broadly accepted, I was expecting some kind of at least some communication, but nothing as of yet. Always hopeful, and I do genuinely believe in working with everybody and not necessarily piling things on to very busy councillors, but some kind of indication that there was going to be something in place. I think the message you hear from the Labour government is that they back and support hospitality, but in my view, all it is basically saying we're not going to make it worse. we're going to freeze things, and we're going to stagger rises over a period of time. That's not support. That is essentially giving us a sling for an arm wound rather than actually helping to heal the problem.
Whereas actually what we need is for government to get out of the way of businesses like yours. And the plan that we're all working to with the campaign is just to remove business rates altogether. As a model, business rates just doesn't really work anymore because it is based on historic property values. It's based, as we've heard in the press this weekend, on whether you're in a nice area versus a not so nice area. So it's not scientific. It's not based on how successful your business is at any given time. So actually the drive really should just be to remove business rates. That's not just from hospitality, that's leisure and retail businesses that are really suffering.
I couldn't agree more. I think that really turbocharges the situation. And also it means that people, when they're looking at what sector they're going to go into or when they're going to start businesses, they think, well, great, there's opportunity here. And so we're going to, take that opportunity, develop businesses, develop local economy. One thing that I think needs to be differentiated a little bit is rural economy as well as like urban. I think everyone needs support, but especially in rural areas, they're slightly off the beaten track, don't have that footfall. Those margins make such a big difference. And to those communities as well, again, looking for employment, there's less and less opportunity. So removing business rates would be a huge step in supporting that. There's more things that could be done in terms of tax incentives, but at the moment, I think it's a hell of a good start to try and just at least give some hope and support the industry as a whole.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, we will certainly keep pushing that message locally. As I say, it's not just about hospitality businesses such as yours, important though they are. It's also about the retailers on our high streets that are really struggling because of the business rates campaign. So you can find out more about our Save Our Pubs campaign at saveourpubs.org. Visit the website now and add your name to our campaign.